Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Casino Co YouTube channel, Honors Biology Edition. Today, we're going to be learning about the pathogen that caused the Black Plague, Yersinia pestis. Before we get started, I must ask that you like and subscribe. I know this video is different than what I usually do, but your support is appreciated. Let's get started. This video will be divided into multiple parts. I will leave timestamps in the description below. Starting with the history of the plague, its first sighting was in 541 AD in Kyrgyzstan in what was called the Justinian Plague. Its next major outbreak happened in the 1300s during the Black Plague, where about 25 million people died. And then again in the 1800s and 1900s, where it lasted all the way until 1959, and yes, 25 million more people died. So how does Yersinia pestis spread? Yersinia pestis first inhabits ticks, and then the ticks get on the rodents, which then contaminate humans. This is how it spread so fast during the 1300s when rats got on sailboats and contaminated members of the crew, causing the plague to spread to Europe and Africa from its point in Central Asia. Yersinia pestis is one of the strongest bacteria, being able to pass through macrophages. How it does this is rather than entering the cell, it...
Whoa, Mason, are you just not gonna explain what a macrophage is?
Yeah, Goldie, I think people can infer that it's a pretty powerful cell based on the way that I described it.
Nah, Mason, people have no idea what you're talking about. Here, let me explain it for you, since you can't for some reason. Macrophages are a type of white blood cell that are the first responders when a foreign bacteria enters the bloodstream. So think of a soccer game. The macrophages are the golden starting lineup, and the other cells are the bench warmers. Except the golden starting lineup of a high school soccer team is playing against professional NBA players.
Goldie, the NBA does basketball, not soccer.
Shut up, Mason. Anyways, as I was saying, the professionals would easily squash the starting lineup of the high school teams, with the professionals being the Yersinia pestis and the starting lineup of the high school soccer team being the macrophages.
Wow, thanks for the explanation of macrophages, Goldie. Anyways, moving on. Yersinia pestis sticks a type of needle into the cell membrane, killing it with a bunch of harmful proteins rather than entering the cell itself. Now, how does this affect the organelles? The cell membrane, which is the
Mason, aren't you gonna explain what an organelle is?
Oh my goodness, dude, this is for an honors biology class. People already know what an organelle is.
Not the general audience from YouTube. Besides, I don't know what an organelle is. Could you enlighten me on what it means?
But you literally just gave an explanation on fine. An organelle is kind of like, the organs inside of the cell. So like the lysosomes, the nucleus, and the other things like that. Does that make sense to you, Goldie?
Nah, I require you to give a better explanation.
Well, here's a definition Google gave me. Anyways, moving on. Now, how does this affect the organelles? The cell membrane, which is the outer layer of the cell, gets penetrated by the needle produced by the Yersinia pestis, allowing for deadly toxins to get inside. Then, the toxins shut down the lysosomes, which typically break down waste and things that are not supposed to be in the cell, making it perfect for invasion. The nucleus, the center control system of the cell, now infected by the deadly toxins, will now send out different commands, causing the chaos happening in the cell that will inevitably lead to its death. The mitochondria, that once turned food and oxygen into power, will now produce deadly toxins, further killing the cell. The Golgi apparatus that once packaged proteins and shipped deadly proteins out of the cell will now be shut down, allowing the toxins to further destroy the cell. Yersinia pestis separates itself from the cell, attacking even more cells after the injection. This can cause 3 different types of plagues based on where the bacteria are located. Firstly, bubonic plague. This is the most common type of version of the plague that you've probably heard of. Signs that you have bubonic plague are fever, headaches, vomiting, and swollen lymph nodes. These swollen lymph nodes are caused by buboes. They appear to be large bulges that appear on the skin and look really nasty. Septicemic plague is when Yersinia pestis gets into the bloodstream. You can start bleeding out of the mouth and your skin will literally start rotting. This is probably what you think of when you first hear about the plague because this is the version that's most showed in television. And last but not least, pneumonia. Hey Mason, can I explain this one? I don't see why not. So like pneumonic plague, it's the deadliest one because it primarily attacks your lungs. When it attacks your lungs, it gives you pneumonia, which makes you cough, therefore allowing the plague to spread faster. Wow, thanks for the explanation, Goldie. Anyways, the plague with its many forms proves to be one of, if not the deadliest disease to ever exist. With its clever tactic of attacking the cells from the outside and having many ways to spread, it's no wonder that it killed so many millions of people and left such an impact on the world. Whoa, Mason, we're not just ending the video off here. You didn't even talk about how to treat the Black Plague. Goldie, the instruction manual for this assignment didn't require that. The instruction manual for the assignment didn't require that. Shut up, Mason. Anyways, for the treatment for Yersinia pestis are your basic antibiotics. Take them up to 10 to 14 days, even if the symptoms improve. Some cases might be worse, so you could have to take antibiotics for a longer period of time. If it's bubonic plague, then you might need a little bit of surgery in order to remove the swollen lymph nodes. And yes, the plague still exists to this day. Outbreaks of it still happen in Colorado even. Goldie, how do you know all this? Mason, I had to get my gangster degree somehow. And besides, who do you think caused the Black Plague? Yeah, sure thing, buddy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this installment of the Casino Co YouTube channel. And please, make sure to like and subscribe so that I can reach 10,000 subscribers before I fossilize. Yeah, I gotta get going, guys. I got a date with my girlfriend at Waffle House at 3. Goldie, who takes a girl to Waffle House? And who takes a girl to the grungiest steakhouse in the world to see a statue of a homeless person? Fair point. Anyways, I think now would be a good time to end the video, so bye folks, bye-bye!